The truth behind Bill Gaither's quiet goodbye, a Gospel Spirit News Investigation A headline appears on your screen. No warning. No context. Just 4 words that stop your scrolling thumb dead. Bill Gaither's quiet goodbye. For a man who has spent over 6 decades filling churches, arenas, and living rooms with the sound of hope, those words feel like a punch to the chest. Is this it? Has gospel music lost one of its last great patriarchs? Quietly, without so much as a proper send-off. Thousands of fans have asked exactly that question over the past few months. Comment sections have filled with broken heart emojis. Facebook groups have lit up with tributes written a little too early. And somewhere in the middle of all that grief, one simple fact got lost. Bill Gaither is still here, still writing, still leading the Gaither vocal band into rooms full of people who need what only he can give them. So where did this quiet goodbye come from? And why has it convinced so many people that something is deeply wrong? That's what we're unpacking today. Why this story even exists, here's the uncomfortable truth about the internet in 2026. Heartbreak sells. A sad headline about a beloved figure gets shared faster than almost anything else online, and there are entire networks of low-effort pages built purely to profit from that instinct. Over the past year, we've seen this exact pattern play out again and again, not just with Bill Gaither, but with dozens of aging public figures. A vague, emotionally loaded headline goes up. No named source. No date. No verifiable detail. Just enough sadness to make you stop scrolling and click. And once one page publishes it, others copy it word for word, because outrage and grief are free traffic. That's not speculation. Fact-checking organizations have traced this exact behavior, showing how the same recycled heartbreaking templates get reused across completely different celebrities, sometimes within days of each other. Bill Gaither, sadly, became one of the latest names caught in that machine. The first thread, the false death rumours, let's deal with the most serious claim first, because it deserves a direct answer. No, Bill Gaither has not passed away. Over recent months, headlines and social posts have circulated claiming exactly that. Dressed up with fake breaking news graphics, dramatic captions, sometimes even fabricated family statement language designed to look official. It's a tactic that's sadly become common. Borrow the format of a real obituary, swap in a beloved name, and let algorithms do the rest. This isn't unique to Gaither. This same hoax format has previously targeted other public figures, recycling near-identical wording each time, just with a different name pasted in. Once you recognize the pattern, it's almost mechanical: vague location, vague time, no named source, an appeal to share to show respect. That's not journalism. That's a template. The genuinely frustrating part is what this does to real fans. People who followed Bill Gaither's music for 40, 50 years, through homecoming videos, through church hymnals, through late nights in the car with the radio on, those are the people who feel this most. A fake headline doesn't just spread misinformation. It manufactures real grief over nothing. So if you've seen that headline and felt your stomach drop, you can let that go. It isn't true. The second thread, where the stepping back rumour actually came from. Now, here's where the story gets more honest and more human. Bill and Gloria Gaither have, in fact, missed several public appearances recently. That part is true, and it's the part that gave the rumours just enough oxygen to spread. Gloria Gaither, Bill's wife of over 60 years, and the co-writer behind some of the most beloved songs in gospel history, including Because He Lives, has been dealing with real, significant health challenges. Bill has spoken about this himself, sharing that Gloria has needed knee and hip replacement surgery, procedures that come with a long and demanding recovery, especially later in life. That's not a small thing. Joint replacement surgery, particularly when more than one is required, often means months of physiotherapy, careful movement, and simply not being able to keep up the packed touring schedule the Gaithers have maintained for decades. So when Bill and Gloria stepped back from certain events, it wasn't retirement. It wasn't decline. It was two people prioritizing recovery and each other, the same way any couple would after 60 years together. But online, absence gets misread as ending. When a public figure who normally shows up everywhere suddenly isn't there, speculation fills the silence. And once that speculation mixes with the fake death hoax already circulating, the two stories tangle together into this idea of a quiet goodbye, as if Bill was slipping away from the spotlight for good. He isn't. He's simply been at his wife's side while she heals, which frankly says more about the man than any headline could. What Bill Gaither has actually said, it's worth pausing here on something important. Bill Gaither hasn't hidden from this. He's addressed Gloria's health directly, rather than letting Rumours do the talking for him. That distinction matters. A man trying to disappear quietly doesn't explain his absences. He doesn't talk publicly about his wife's surgeries or continue showing up for interviews and homecoming tapings in between. Bill Gaither has done exactly that. He stayed visible, stayed vocal, and kept working, even while managing a genuinely difficult season at home. If anything, the real story isn't a goodbye. It's a couple in their 80s choosing honesty over silence, even while dealing with something as physically demanding as major joint surgery. That's not weakness. That's the same steady faith that's been at the center of their music for 60 years. Just playing out in real life instead of on a stage. Why this matters beyond one headline, it's tempting to treat this as a one-off story about one rumour. But it's really part of something bigger happening across the gospel and Christian music world right now. Aging artists, people who built the soundtrack of faith for entire generations, are increasingly being targeted by this exact kind of content. Fake death hoaxes. Vague, quiet goodbye narratives. Dramatic health claims with no named source. It happens because these artists have devoted, emotionally invested audiences, and devoted audiences click. The responsibility then sits with all of us watching. Before sharing a headline like that, pause. Ask where it actually came from. Look for a named source, an official statement, a reputable outlet. If none of that exists, it's very likely built to be shared, not to be true. Bill Gaither has spent his life writing songs about hope, holding steady through hard seasons. It would be a strange kind of disrespect to let a fabricated headline write a different ending for him than the one he's actually living. The resolution's so, here's where things actually stand. Bill Gaither is alive, active, and still deeply involved in the music and ministry that's defined his life. Gloria Gaither has faced real, serious health challenges, knee and hip replacements among them, and the couple has stepped back from certain public events so she can recover. That's it. That's the whole story behind the headlines. No quiet goodbye. No hidden tragedy. Just two people, married for over 60 years, doing what long marriages actually require, showing up for each other, especially when it's hard, especially when no one's watching. If there's a lesson gospel music has always tried to teach us, it's this. Faith isn't about avoiding hard seasons. It's about staying steady inside them. And by every account, that's exactly what Bill and Gloria Gaither are doing right now. Closing and call to action. So next time a headline tries to convince you that a legend has slipped away without a word, stop, check, and remember stories like this one. If this video helped clear up the confusion, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we'll keep bringing you the real story behind the gospel music headlines, not the clickbait version. Drop a comment below if you've got a Gaither memory of your own. And until next time, keep the faith and keep questioning what you read before you believe it.